and learning how to read that when one roadblock comes up and then you are on the way to pick something up and the road is closed down, and then you go another way and a policeman stops you, you would by that point hopefully say, why is it that I'm being deterred from the direction that I am headed in at this moment?
If I may?
Certainly.
Thank you. It is that there is this mass consciousness that we seem to attract to ourselves when we attempt to move in a direction that is our own, that may not be in concert with what is the general teaching or belief. And it is trying to make the distinction between a roadblock that is indeed symbolic, that we are not to proceed along this path for reasons that have to do with the self, with our own evolution. And those roadblocks that appear that have to do with the mass belief that is held, that is all around us, that believes that this is the way it is and this is the way it's supposed to be, and what you're attempting is ridiculous. It's making those distinctions. That's where I think I find myself in great difficulty.
Now, we are trying to think of the most gentle way to say this to you.
Go ahead.
No, we are teasing. For she always braces herself like we are going to pounce on her.
Oh, you too.
And you are creating your world, are you not?
That's true.
We are merely a player within your list of characters. We thank you for inviting us in. Now, we would say this too. We jest and we tease so that you can become relaxed and so that you can understand that it is not so serious what it is that you are all after. It is a portion of your evolutionary experience. And you won't go around pounding your chests each day because you think you are failing and where it is that you think you should be. Now, perhaps that is a portion of our energy that is not understood by you when we say that we see that you are quite aware. When we say this, we take the whole picture of who you are in terms of speaking. And yet when we speak to you and you cry out, as just was done by this lady in representation of all of your feelings, we see that it is easy for you all to shrink as little children, because often you think that there are great empowered beings and that you are not having any of the abilities that these great empowered beings have, or what you think they have. And so you constrict yourselves and make yourselves smaller in your own mind's eye than you indeed are. Why not give yourself credit, even if you do find one thing that you are doing correctly? Do not focus on what is not working for you. This is what you are learning about. Focus on what you are succeeding in. Focus on those that you are drawn to your life. Focus on your meditations and focus on your visualizations and the information that the spontaneous, impulsive self is speaking to. And then the part that you do not feel is there, pull it forward. Know that it will follow with the rest. Know that your development is inevitable as the sun coming up in the morning of your skies. You are all on a path. And you must learn to be gentle with yourselves and to love yourselves. And do not ask us to justify the smallness that you are feeling. For it is but a momentary feeling. Allow it to come and allow it to go. It is not the overall essence of who you are. See it as a mood that comes in. See it as a portion of the self that is attempting to integrate with the whole self. And when you see this portion of the self that seems confused or does not know which direction to go in, study it. Who is that character? And how does that character need to be integrated and loved and implanted with light? And ask at those times that you are implanted with light and that you are guided to your greatest development. And don't worry. Be happy. Now, questions?
The symbolism that we take, the directions that we take, is a unique vibratory signature for these things around us and the positions that they represent in the fabric of all that is real to our senses.
Which things are you speaking of?
The images of reality,
The world.
the presence of the matter that we can physically touch in our present form.
Which
The
is
things that are affected by our desires and our directions.
the direct result of this experiment and your abilities to mold this experiment in this place and time. Understand this, that you all have lived many times. Many, many, many times. You have dipped in and out of multitudinous experiences of physical reality. And each time that you have lived, the world was a different place. And each time there were problems and worries and challenges to overcome. And each time it seemed that that was the only way the world could be. And you all had experienced realities that had laws that were quite different than the laws that affect you now, in this time. In this time that you live, the laws are quite jumbled, and it is quite fashionable in this era that you live on Terra, that almost any way that you choose to be is accepted, at least in the country that you are representative of, and that is why you are here in this country, for you are all quite rebellious within the deepest portions of yourself. And you wish to have no boundaries set around you as to exactly how you wish to dance your dance of life. And in this reality and in this world, your United States, you are given the ultimate freedom to do this to a certain extent. To a great extent, we are here to remind you that you are unlimited beings. Because that is what you need to be reminded of. That is why you chose this society with this flexibility and then the support, so that you would have one another to acknowledge and say, go be crazy, I applaud you.
I find myself wanting to take issue with you when you say that this society is so flexible. Might it be much more flexible?
Indeed. We are not saying, when we say that this society is so flexible, perhaps we should say that it has the potential to have a very flexible reality. And perhaps you would agree with me if we speak further and we say that it has the potential to express itself in many, many ways, in many fashions. But certain institutions have created great restrictions of being on your world. The medical situation, the educational situation, the scientific situation, the historical perspective, have all clearly defined your world. And there are many who would never question whether that information is correct or not. It is the ultimate of the egocentric self to believe that all information is correct and to not question any. There's always a larger picture than the one that is being presented to you. And we have said over and over again that as you learn, and if you are to speak with us, the same grouping 1 year from now, we would be discussing a larger, expansive world than the one that you are now capable of conceiving.
Is it possible for us to live in this society and yet not allow it to take our power, and yet not allow it to force us to live within its limitations?
It is your choice. You are not forced by anyone or anything. And this is the ultimate of your challenge, all of you. You're all waiting for your world to change. And guess what? You are going to change. And as you firmly become entrenched in who you are, and you firmly design the most minute detail of your life, you will find that a world that would vibrate with this great desire and spontaneous creativity would manifest around you. For you would literally place yourself in a world where that energy was compatible, if that is your utmost desire. You all think you are battling the world. How often have we spoke with the hammer and nails? You all think you are going to change the world by reconstructing it. Not so. You are going to change the world by reconstructing yourselves.
As we reconstruct ourselves, as we realize our own visions, don't we alienate ourselves from those who have different visions?
Now, we are tiptoeing around the word alienate to a certain extent. When one is on a life's journey of expression, whether it be through the darkest depths of the personality or the greatest heights of light, one will bring into one's life those that would support one to achieve that desire. If your desire is for a well-balanced and harmonious world, you may look at it as alienating those who do not desire it. Or you may look at it as drawing into your life all those who would have the same belief system and would desire the harmony that is possible. There are always many sides and views to every situation. And you learn to understand your own prejudices as you learn to see how you get stuck in one way of thinking and how it always, you are arguing for your hopelessness to a certain extent.